During the 1960s and 1970s, a widespread contaminant incident occurred in more than 1,000 homes in Australia's capital city, Canberra. Imported and installed loose-fill amphibole, asbestos of mostly brown amosite, and some instances of blue crocidolite were blown into the roof cavities of homes as insulation. Asbestos Fluff brand insulation was used as the filler, and the term Mr. Fluffy has been used to refer to these contaminated instances. In October 2014, the ACT government borrowed $1 billion from the federal government to buy back and demolish the affected properties. RMA Group have been contracted by the ACT government to safely demolish and remove a number of these affected properties. Prior to site establishment, asbestos and demolition applications, including commencement notices, are required. Submission of asbestos disposal forms, resident notification letters, application for dial before you dig plans, and confirmation of utility disconnections are also required. RMA Group follow their safety documentation plans, and when all approvals are in place, the site can be established. Site establishment includes temporary fencing, sediment controls, site office and first aid. Non-contaminated structures, not to be retained on site, and non-contaminated material from inside the house are to be removed and placed in a skip bin. An exclusion zone is established at least 10 metres where possible, using a combination of temporary fencing, barricades, hazard tape and signage, while air monitors will be installed on the exclusion zone boundaries. Appropriate asbestos removal in progress signage, PPE warnings and ACT government issued signage will also be installed on the exclusion zone boundaries. To safely remove most of the house interior, such as floor coverings, kitchens, bathrooms and gyprock, the house needs to be encapsulated with 200 micron plastic to prevent any asbestos floating into the atmosphere, and will be bound using duct tape to ensure an airtight seal. Openings such as doors, windows, vents, or any other inlets or holes will also be sealed with tape and plastic. Negative HEPA filtered air units will also be used during the friable asbestos removal component of the project. A skip bin will be placed beside the dwelling with double-lined 200 micron plastic and will be attached and sealed to the interior of the enclosure. A licensed asbestos assessor will inspect and smoke test the enclosure for leaks. Additional air monitors will be fitted where necessary. After the interior has been cleared to the frames, the remaining interior is sprayed with a light blue tinted PVA solution. This is to further stabilise any remaining loose fibres that could be present. A clearance certificate is now required prior to demolition. The demolition phase requires the interior of the remaining structure to be saturated with water. An excavator pushes the roof tiles and roof frame into the footprint of the house. The brick walls, windows and any remaining structures are demolished inwards. The timber flooring and frames are lifted off the foundations, then the foundations are pushed into the building footprint. The piers, concrete slabs and footpaths are broken up, followed by the digging out of the footings with the excavator. This rubble is then loaded onto trucks and removed from the site. All waste removal trucks must have approved EnviroTarps fitted. The soil must be kept damp to prevent dust, and this is usually accomplished with a high pressure sprayer. Once the waste has been removed, the house footprint plus 1 metre outline needs to be scraped to a depth of 100 mm for soil validation. Any hotspots are to be remediated if fibres are detected, then retested and cleared. The site is graded to a smooth surface to prevent trip hazards and to prevent water runoff, and can now be handed back to the ACT government.